Good afternoon, and welcome to the Day After Podcast and our sub-show Pixar Sunday, where we watch and review every Pixar film in chronological order. In this episode, we're tackling 2015's The Good Dinosaur, directed by Peter Sohn. Something we don't really know how to get about.
Yeah, so this is, I think we mentioned last time, this is the only Pixar movie John and I have both never seen.
The joke...
Besides, the one that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, the joke being, nobody watched this.
Yeah, apparently this was supposed to suck.
Yeah,
I trusted the internet in that, this is gonna be stupid and boring and meandering.
Actually,
no,
kind of good.
It's really, it's nice. It's fun. It's a nice kind of goofy cartoon kids movie, but that still has a lot of heart.
I found where all our energy, we occasionally have hot takes that don't align with the internet. This might be where our Monsters energy went.
Monsters energy.
No, I don't even know where to begin. Okay.
So the story is, I was trying to, while I was watching this, tackle why some people don't like this. And I think that farming dinosaurs in the American West would that premise alone would kind of turn some people off.
It's a noticeably more gentle, tender movie.
Yeah, and this movie has kind of a unique issue in that it has to not be every other dinosaur movie.
Which is tough.
But also, there has to be a reason for them to be dinosaurs. And that was honestly my biggest problem with it for most of it. Well, for at least at the beginning, and then I kind of abandoned that halfway through of why are they dinosaurs? I don't understand why they were dinosaur farmers, but it works. It's an aesthetic choice and it's fine.
I have a comment that leads into rebuttal, and I'm just gonna tackle it on the table. This movie's freaking gorgeous.
Oh my god.
This movie loves the Montana area of the United States.
Yeah, I think just general Rockies, because I can't honestly tell where they
Western
are.
United States
and you've never
range.
been to Montana.
I can't say that happened. But yeah, that mountain range in the western half of the United States is fucking amazing looking.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like it was shot in the Rockies. I've been to Estes Park and stuff, and so yeah, that's at least what it looks like to me. But again, I can see where that kind of aesthetic would throw people off, especially when you combine it with farming dinosaurs.
But when you put when we are told by the characters that the river is a powerful force that's very dangerous, they put all of their animation in this river.
Yeah, and what I love is that every single thing these characters say is important, like Clawtooth Mountain, and you can follow the river, you can find your way home, and
it's also fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
But here's my rebuttal. Not to this, but to a criticism I'm about to say. A lot of people, when they ask people what they don't like about this movie, it's I don't like the juxtaposition between extremely photorealistic environments and this weird cartoony dinosaur who sticks out. And I'm like, okay, that's a premise. Here's my rebuttal. Is that when we made them realistic dinosaurs, it turned into the 2000 movie Dinosaur.
Which sucks.
And you don't have any good things to say about that.
No, everybody agrees that sucks. So yeah, I think I love actually that Arlo looks like every single kid's drawing of a brontosaurus.
And the character designs are a little, for the most part, they work.
Yeah.
They work for the bird stegosaur, they work for the pterodons, they work. The only place I think it doesn't work is the younger male Tyrannosaurus Rex. I feel like his proportions are a little round.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like this big, bulldog-looking guy.
Yeah,
and tough and everything.
That's where some of the puffiness doesn't work for me.
I thought... I'm sorry.
No, I am done.
I thought that the dog kid was gonna bug the shit out of me. I generally don't like it when movies give dog-like qualities to something that isn't a dog. That I'm just like, just make a fucking dog. Like, what? And they don't... I was worried, okay, if they're gonna make him a dog, at least give him a reason to it. And they don't really do that either.
Well, I believe... I know it says that, millions of years later, after the... I'm not gonna think this hard. After the extinction event was supposed to occur, they also don't say that this is present day, because when you fuck up an event as big as one of the 6 extinction events, there's no pretense that this movie does not have to align with what we know today in history.
Right, yeah, and I like how it'd be so easy to ignore the fact that dinosaurs and humans didn't live together. But they do take that time right at the beginning to mention that, and I do like that they did that because they could have just ignored it.
Yeah, that is really nice.
But I thought the dog kid Spot was gonna really really bug me, and I kind of got used to him after a while. He doesn't ever talk, which is nice.
I appreciate that. There's some points where I'm like, put your tongue back in your mouth, but otherwise he's very.
Yeah, I mean he looks exactly like
palatable.
Yeah, he looks exactly like a human who grew up in the wild, which is exactly what he was. So we've mentioned several times in past Pixar movies about sad fetishism, and this movie has sad moments. Do you think it falls victim to
No, I think that the death of his father plays restrained enough of a role in the movie. It is a catalyst, but the sadness. I think what really curbs the sadness is that we don't see a Mufasa body.
Yeah.
I was really shocked that when the water smacks into his dad, it's a cut to black mid action.
Yeah, and what I like is all the sad moments that happen, like when he has to say goodbye to Spot at the end. It's all there for a reason, and they all have weight. It doesn't just pop out of nowhere like fucking Bing Bong.
Big Bong. Oh man.
So I think I mean it's a nice. I think people might get turned off by the fact that it's just like every other kid goes on an adventure to stop being a coward movie.
Self-actualization is nice. I did get worried that in a lot of interviews, Peter Sohn, that better be your name. He kept pointing out like, guys, did you know that the environment can be a villain? Like, yes, Peter, just make sure you're making a good movie now, buddy. Don't pretend like this is screenwriting 101. Let's take a small break because some people are here just for the mainstays. Some people don't want to watch a review of the Good Dinosaur. So, in a very difficult episode, John Ratzenberg plays one of the Longhorn Wrestlers.
Yeah,
the Velociraptor. He plays one
the
of
feather thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He plays one of the feathers threw me off. He plays one of the Velociraptors, the evil Velociraptors who are trying to take their herd.
Yeah, the herd of very, very clearly prehistoric relative to the American bison.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but he has I think he has one line, and it's a disguised line that from a character you don't see again, which is why he's tougher to find. The Pizza Planet truck is apparently the shape of one of the meteors, asteroids. My space is wrong.
Asteroids, it would be.
There's an asteroid shaped like the Pizza Planet truck in the opening scene. And A113 apparently is in a bunch of sticks somewhere in the movie.
Yeah, we didn't look too hard.
That's going to be hard to find because I wanted to go in blind. But, welcome back, everybody.
So, one of the best things about this movie, there are several times where this movie made me laugh my ass off, and this movie made me go, what in the sweet fuck am I looking at? What the fuck is that Triceratops?
I thought it was Stephen Wright. It's not.
What the fuck is that Triceratops, sir?
About 40 minutes in, we meet our first non-Brontosaurus character. A kind of a derp Triceratops who makes friends with woodland creatures.
And his eyes go two different directions. He's a freaking Radagast motherfucker.
Radagast?
The wizard Radagast from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, thanks. What a weird scene. That sets up that you're going to meet different characters. This, like, we talk about the Odyssey thing, going from point A to B to C to D to E. That you meet these characters that are here for a bit and then you leave.
Yeah, and so, like, fucking 30 minutes through the movie, it's like this very standard, like, Arlo is cast out from his farm and he doesn't sure he belongs, but he's got to get on this epic journey. And then you see this fucking thing. You're like, what? Hang on.
I was so put off because his gag is that he blends in with the trees to stay safe. But for a long time, I'm just hearing this voice as you move around to these other animals, and he's such a weirdo. It's like, this is Ralph. He tells me not to set unrealistic goals.
Yeah. So you meet Skull Crusher, the saber-toothed gopher, who chases away bad thoughts.
Which by the way, this is fucking amazing. The snake they fight in the scene has legs and arms.
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
They have a built-in excuse to make slightly weird elements, like Pete Doctor did in fucking Inside Out.
And just Debbie, who's just a fucking random-ass red bird. And then, like, okay, so it's like a big Live Valley moment. They meet this crazy, weird Triceratops. Spot gets his name, and then you never see him again.
But then you meet plot-important characters who, while being plot-important, are also weird. My wife is slayed every time they gallop.
Okay, no. Can we wait on the T-Rexes because I wasn't done?
Okay, yeah, please.
So shortly after you meet the Triceratops, they find these berries, and they have an acid trip.
They have a real ass acid trip
in a Pixar movie.
That was good.
And I'm just like, okay, I went from weird ass fucking Triceratops to Arlo and Spot kind of bonding to we're getting high now.
No, it was short, it was contained, but I like that. I think Pixar knows how much they can dip into that well.
Yeah.
Dreamworks has no restraint. They will drink the entire gallon of milk.
Yeah, and I just like, and there's some, like, this seems like, I can see where people would be put off that this is just, it's every standard kid's adventure movie, and then that shit happens.
But oh my god, it's not like they had a weird character. Can you imagine this Stegosaur being crazy goofy?
Yeah.
And around more of it?
It's a Stegosaur, what?
Triceratops, sorry. Oh. Sorry, my dinosaurs are fucked up right now. It's 8 o'clock at night.
Okay, so moving on to the T-Rexes, / whatever they are. Played by Sam Elliott, Anna Paquin, and who cares?
I'll there he is.
Number one, you hear Sam Elliott's voice come out of this fucking crocodile-looking motherfucker, which is so awesome. And okay, what John was referring to was they're very clearly cowboys.
Yeah, their job is to rustle these clearly prehistoric American bison.
Yes, but I was fucking triggered by when they run, their torsos are stationary, as if they're on top of a horse. And that was so goddamn funny to me. We had to pause the movie every time it happened.
It wasn't as funny to me as it was getting joy out of how much that triggered you.
I'm just like, I hope you can play it. If you're gonna play a video clip ever, just play it. Just fucking look at these assholes run. It's just like fucking their legs even move as if they're galloping, but they're just sitting like they're like so
torso, yeah,
legs.
It feels like the animators put inverse kinematics, and if you're playing along at home, what it is they told the computer, all right, their torsos do not move. Their legs move. Figure out the math in between.
Yeah.
Because it's so fun. It's clearly an intentional choice. And
oh my god.
I don't know why that triggered my wife so much. What triggered me is a short little scene right before they get high or right after they get high, very close to where they get high, where he blows on the gopher hole.
Oh yeah, the gopher
45 gophers come out. It's so...
And you think, like, this is just every other kid's adventure movie, and then, oh my god, some of this crazy shit.
And then you find out, okay, let's bring the energy down. You find out in a scene with almost no dialogue that this metaphor of sticks represent people and the circle represents family.
Yeah.
And you find out from this character that doesn't talk that his parents died. Or his parental figures died.
Yeah, I love how quiet this movie is. I mean, can you imagine how unbearable this would be if Arlo talked like literally all the fucking time?
Yeah, and I think that could have been a crutch. It really is more about the journey than about this idea. And that cute scene happened right when I was worried. Okay, let's reinforce who we are and let's get to learn each other in a character building scene. That was really good.
Yeah, this movie is great about setup and payoff. Like I said, every time the characters say something, it's important. The mountain comes back. That family circle that he drew comes back when Spot goes off to live with the other humans. One complaint I didn't think I would have, that ending was a little rushed.
What, getting home suddenly?
Yeah, so we say goodbye to Spot in a very, very nice, long, drawn out scene. We say goodbye to Spot. Arlo comes home, is seen by his mother. They hug. He puts his foot on the wall, and then we're done.
That's weird that was the last thing. I think that maybe that was the goal that they set up the whole time. But what other kind of denouement do you want? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
You can't really do an energy filled montage with your dinosaur farming movie.
I would have liked more of him taking over his dad's role at the farm.
Yeah, that might have been nice.
And working a little bit more, because you got to work twice as hard now that the snows have come. But through all of this adventure, he's learned how not to be a coward and how to really step up and face his fears. I would have liked more of that falling action. In a movie that was so good at setup and payoff, I wish they would have done more there instead of just foot wall done.
Yes, I when they told me that you have to have falling action when we did those graphs in like middle
Yeah.
school, I was like, that's bullshit. I don't think you need to have falling action. Then I saw a movie like this with almost no falling action.
Yeah.
Um, just real quick, things before we discuss final thoughts because I'm running out of steam here.
Yeah.
I do like that if there is a villain, it's this set of pterodactyls,
Pterosaurs, yeah.
pterosaurs we'll call them. Who at first you're like, oh yeah, we're finding people from the wreckage to eat them. That's fucked up. And
yeah, that turn was really well done.
They look really scary. There's scenes like when he's throwing Spot up through the clouds to look at shit, and then he comes down and catches him. That's really good.
Oh, this movie is so good at its quiet, long, drawn-out moments. The action can drag a little bit, but yeah, it's really well done.
It's really nice and tender. I'm ready to hear what you do. You have something to say?
No, I'm done. If you're ready to go to final thoughts,
I'm ready to hear what you have to say in general because you had one of those happy bitches where you're like, movie, you were supposed to be bad.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so you hear Pixar's The Good Dinosaur, like one of the biggest failures outside of Cars 2, and I'm just like, I look at this movie and I'm like, what? I don't see where the hate comes from. Could I understand why people don't watch it? Yes, there are things in here that I get would turn people off. But if you just sit down and like kind of accept this movie for what it is, there's some really, really good stuff here. And I don't get all the hate to it. It makes me laugh. It's got very good emotional beats without fetishizing it. Yeah, it's just a really solid kids movie.
I do want to clarify because there's a difference between box office reception and critical reception because while Cars 2 is a piece of ass, it made a shit ton of money.
Yes, it did, and that's all it was supposed to do.
Yeah, but it kind of went under the radar, I think, that's a whole other discussion about why nobody saw this. But we didn't touch at all about the struggling production value, and then at one point they had all the voice actors and had to recast most of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really rushed. They had to replace directors a few times. But this should not have been that solid for how rushed that production was.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy this. The big thing is that I enjoy this more than A Bug's Life, which is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a discussion later for this time. But thank you guys for joining us on the Jestour Reviews 2015's The Good Dinosaur. Before we move on to Finding Dory, which is our next film in the line, we're going to take a quick break to actually look at some more Pixar shorts.
Yay!
Because the first time was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching those.
Yeah, they're
I'm
really
ready I'm ready to know what they can do when they have more budget behind them. But thank you for joining us, everybody, and we will see you a week from today.